you know, economic, the financial aspects, the business aspects in the country?
You know, Raila for so many years has been talking about the freedom fighters. Raila is a socialist. He wanted to bring social democracy. To me, that is my own opinion. And that is what the Raila we used to know until before Handshake was standing for.
Okay.
Raila we used until before Handshake was like this guy who was talking about social equity. We want to bring this. But the one we now have after the Handshake is a will dealer, is someone
this
who
is interesting.
in dealership with the government.
Okay.
Is someone who doesn't, what he cares about is becoming the president of Kenya.
What goes into book writing? I would love to understand. Is it that belief in some certain ideology that would get you writing a book, you know, your stories, or what exactly? Is it a clear indication that you are for the hustler narrative and hence the reason you publish?
I didn't just wake up and find myself there. There were circumstances which made me to be there. First, you know, we were having coronavirus, which took us for a long to 1 year. You know, that process brought a meltdown in economy in this country. And when you think that political leaders will put aside things like referendum, BBI, they brought us in a discourse of discussing about a plebiscite which we were not part of. So these are things which made me felt I didn't feel pleased with the Raila's camp because of this. And they even
and I have followed you to realize that you have at some point in time been in this camp, subscribed to his ideologies, or better yet, the ideologies of the Orange Nation, so to speak. Why the shift? It is this COVID-19 moment, it is this BBI talk that you know,
some people are trying to peddle that it is because of that container thing which was happening in Kisumu.
Is it not?
It is also partly because that container stuff which is being, that project, it was a bottom-up project. It was a project which was aimed in employing more than 6,000 people.
And you think that was being crushed? You perhaps need to tell us something small about this project so people are on the line.
Okay, the project was very simple. It was that the containers were to be placed in the city to formalize the informal system in Kisumu County. And when I started doing this project, people just felt this one was going to be a kibanda. So when I got the tender and started doing the project, I did it exclusively well until some people got very jittery about it. And somebody came and asked me that you want to provide everyone with employment. Who will come to our rallies when we want to campaign?
Or is it?
Yes.
So are you trying to say that this person was from this camp?
Yes.
Right, Honorable?
Oh, yeah, yes. And we are having a system back there in Luo Nyanza where people are just being jettisoned, are being pushed. There is no diversional opinion that they want to hear. They are saying that when they speak, you follow. So when I felt that my bottom-up project was not going to be implemented in Kisumu County, I went and approached William Ruto and I told him, look, what you are talking about, I'm also having an opinion about it.
So you wrote this book in retaliation to what it is that the other camp has done to you? And
I had always wanted to write a book about William Ruto. Right. That was just an opening for me now to just go on it.
How do you get people believing in what it is that you say, that the goodness of this book, without viewing it as an act of retaliation, without viewing it as a product of that field of defection and all that?
You know, one thing that I would like to tell people outside there: writing a book is not a one-day event. It takes collective energy of research, interviewing the person, interviewing people who are close to the person, talking to him. But even if we leave that one aside, William Ruto is someone his story is very inspiring. Many of us in this country are almost falling in that category of a hustler. The survey is telling us that there are only 4,000 Kenyans who are rich. Now, survey is telling us that there are only 100,000 Kenyans who are earning 100,000 shillings and above. What does that tell you? The 44 million people are living below $1, the poverty line. What does that tell you? We need to formalize the informal system and find a way that the government can concentrate on giving that informal system money so that the people who are living below the poverty line can move up to the middle class. When someone comes with a brilliant ideology like that, what makes me sit on the fence? I feel very enticed by it. I feel it is where Kenya should go. And I feel this guy's story, coming from a family where people are just farmers, to become the #2 in the Republic of Kenya, even if you hate him, give it to him. He has really worked hard.
Based on facts and figures, this very story, where do you get this content? I know you've said you have to interview them, you have to sit with the people who are pretty close to them to compile such a report. Tell us something small about this book.
So this book, you know, it captures the life of William Ruto, just right from his home in Kamagut to where he went to school, coming to Nairobi. Actually, he was not part of YK92. He was a small guy there. He just, it was a coincidence that he became part of YK92. Meeting people like Julio Giambo, who really structured his life. Meeting people like Jirongo, getting into now to the politics now, becoming an MP, moving from becoming an MP to supporting Uhuru Kenyatta in 2002, getting into, when Kanu left the government briefly, he was part of that team who are now positioning themselves, coming back into Pentagon, and then falling out with Mr. Odinga, and then getting to, leaving to form URP, forming government with Jubilee. One thing that you see about when you're reading this book, you see about this person is consistency.
Okay.
This is one person that when you meet, my dear, you can disagree honorably, and he will respect that. And when you meet him, when you agree, and when you are in a conversation, you will have a conversation as if you have met like 10 years ago. He's a very friendly person, so focused.
You know that such people also will be dangerous for those ones who can study body language, and they would understand that sometimes, and especially those ones that are in politics, have mastered the art.
Yes.
You have read The Prince, you are an author.
Yes.
Do you understand sometimes how these people operate?
One thing that I would like to say, even if you compare personalities, I have interacted with Raila Odinga. I've also interacted with William Ruto. William Ruto is very charming when you are around him. He recognizes you. He believes that everyone who is with him is as important as his. Let's
not focus much on that, because we don't want to, we don't want to probably paint a bad picture of the persona of the right honorable Raila Odinga. But here we are, the rise of a hustler. What's in this title, and what exactly does it paint out there as a picture?
This
From chicken seller to presidency.
Yes. Yeah. This book has a very interesting chapter where we are talking about the history of political collusions in this country. Many collusions in the history, the collusions in this country, they don't hold. After the election, even right now you are having a situation whereby you are having Kalonzo Musyoka in Azimio, Martha Karua. If these people don't win an election, it will be over. If these people wins an election, Kalonzo Musyoka will be the first person to be sacked out of that government.
Why do you argue that way? So is this about writing this book, or it's actually your involvement in the politics of the day?
I am a Kenyan citizen.
And therefore you have all rights.
I have all rights to be involved in the leadership of my country.
But how do you get people reading this book with a view of understanding the rise of the hustler, the beauty of the book, as opposed to focusing much on the question of politics?
One thing that I need to maybe help you to understand is that this book does not entirely just talk about politics. There's a very inspiring story there of how the person who is now the deputy president, you know, this person was, it was like hands to mouth, how he was struggling. His struggle in life is real. Even getting in Nairobi for the first time, he didn't know the streets in this town. Even trying to catch up, you know, you are born in the village, then coming to a big city, you come to realize that this city has actually it's divided in have-nots and haves, you know, and still you have to go to school, learn, and you don't have to get swallowed in the social life of this city. Stay focused and stay religious and get this degree, and even focus on how can I help myself to rise above where I come from.
All right, you call it a biography.
Yes.
A blessing from the subject, you know, that is William Ruto, with a proper sitting, you know, with him in terms of making sure that every step of this book, then he's aware of what is being incorporated, because it hugely speaks of him as a biography.
This is not, one thing about the persona or the person who I've written about, he doesn't control much about people's opinion. Okay. Yes.
And we cannot squarely categorize it as a biography.
It's a biography. Yes, but you see,
he's gone through it and accorded the blessing that everything incorporated in it.
I have my reservation. I have my reservation for that question.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Yeah. So probably I should ask it in a different way.
Yes.
What does he think about the book? You have had a session with him. I have seen photos at least. You have presented the book to him. And you have said that you've interviewed people close to him.
Why are you insisting that you want to get an opinion that is coming from him?
Because I mean, this is a book written about him. I mean, any author would expect such a question. But, you've written about this subject.
Okay.
What do they think about it?
The subject feels that as a young person, as an author, I've done my part about contributing into his life history. And many other people will also write a story about him.
Okay.
And this is my contribution.
All right.
And I think that is very modest.
What will stand out? You know, of all the other books that have been written, will be written stories about him. One
thing that stands out about this book, this is the first biography about this William Ruto. And the next thing that stands out, it has prophesied what is going to happen in the next 2 months.
General election?
Yes.
What is the prophecy in there?
The prophecy is that this is the next president of Kenya.
What makes you think so?
Because we know data which has been placed before us. We know that the philosophy that what this person stands for.
Yeah.
If you have to choose between smoking a bang and waiting at home to be given 6,000, and smoking a bang and work enda kwa kazi ni kazi, which one will you value?
Are you trying to coin the narrative of Wajakoya and fit it in to the hustler narrative?
Wajakoya is actually helping us, because there are some people who feel very strong when they have smoked bang so that they can work. So I think Wajakoya should stop this.
Wajakoya has been very categorical. His is not about smoking. It's about that revolution.
Medicinal bang.
Yes.
We know very well as Hustler Nation that the Wajakoya mantra or narrative is being brought in so that they can trigger runoff in any case that William Ruto, because they have realized that William Ruto is ahead of Raila Odinga. That is why you are seeing all these polls, fake polls which are being bought here. So they are hold there.
Yes.
So their plan B is to bring someone who can trigger a runoff, so that once there is a runoff, they can reorganize themselves and plan on how they can defeat someone who has won in first round in that runoff.
You know, I would have insisted that we stick on the book, but because you are Kenyan, and I think we put that disclaimer from the
yes,
one, you deserve the right to articulate
right.
the political matters in the country. The hustler, the chief hustler, acknowledges that in the event that he loses the election, he will retire in peace, and he will appreciate and tell the people of Kenya, Asante for choosing me to serve you as your deputy. If he acknowledges that there's a possibility of losing, why would you say in this book that it's predicted clearly that he's the next president?
I want to say something very clear. Whoever will win the election in August 10th will be a Kenyan.
That's for sure.
Whether Raila wins the election, if it's a free and fair election, why not give him a chance to lead? If William Ruto wins an election, if it's a free and fair, why not give him a chance to lead? What I would like to say is that all these two individuals, they have the ability to lead the country. They are Kenyans. What we are doing now is a competition, not opinion. Poll. If somebody is going to try to win an election through polls, through cooking fake polls, and then cooking the results of the national election, that is a recipe for chaos. Yes.
All right.
If somebody is going to win an election through giving us mass ideology, we want competition of ideology. The reason why I am not willing to be on the middle in this conversation is because of economy. The economy is doing very poorly. Many young people doesn't have jobs. I would have been with on Raila's camp. He's somebody I really respect. I really admire him. But I'm not finding something economical and something appreciating to the young people there.
Tell us something small about these two books. And I know the focus of the day is on the rise of the hustler,
yes,
which is yet to be launched.
Yes.
But the Raila conspiracy, the secrets behind denying him the Kenyan presidency and all that. What much of a difference do...
much of a difference that there's a lot of similarities. I always predict something in my books.
Okay.
In 2017, I came up with this book.
This book was released in?
Before the election.
Before the
2017
election.
2 months before the 2017 election.
Yes.
And I told the people around him that if you read this book, you'll find the reason why that bid of 2017 was not going to be possible. And they told me, oh, this thing we are winning in round 1. They never won it in round 1. It went to Supreme Court. If they ever read this book, they will have learned how the turn of events was going to be. You think the nullification of that election was not speaking volumes as to what would have been a possible Raila win? The subtitle of that book is Secret Behind Denying Him the Kenyan Presidency. Yes. The reason why the election was taken, the matter was taken to the Supreme Court was because there was some whatever which came out. So that was the reason why he needed to read that book before he went to the election. So this book, many Kenyans, The Rise of a Hustler, you need to read it before we go to the election to understand who William Ruto is. In mature democracy, presidential candidates write their books before they go. You saw Joe Biden. Joe Biden, by the way, he has written so many books about himself. Bill Clinton in 1990s, he wrote a book. George W. Bush, Hillary Clinton, all that. We want to create a culture in this country where the same way we've made a presidential debate a culture, we want that a candidate, before he runs for an election, he writes a book about himself. He let us know who he is. He doesn't, and that one help people to make objective opinion about someone. In your house, having this book on your table will be like a personal interaction with William Ruto. Having the other book on your table is like a personal interaction with Raila Odinga. What you know about these people?
Okay.
For sure, what I pray for is that we have a peaceful election and we have a transparent polls. Let the person who wins the election be the president.
Hold it right there. Now, what is this one thing that, you know, you have learned while writing this book and you love for people to learn? One thing that this book has taught me that I need to be proud about my background. This person has made us, you know, before when I came in this city in 2009, it was very hard to talk about, say that I come from Kariobangi, right? I used to have friends who are coming from rich background who made us uncomfortable to recognize that actually coming from you can come from a background which is humble and work towards it and make it. I can gladly say that I used to stay in a house in Kariobangi, for which I used to pay 1,200, and now I stay in Karen. I have a home there. So this person has made me feel that it is okay to start from down and always work from bottom and work up bottom, and then you just work up going upwards. Yes. How do we get this book? So thank you. I mean, something small about the launch and all that.
The launch of this book will be on 22nd at Trademark Hotel, there in Village Market. Hustler himself will be
gracing the occasion.
There will be book signing there. If you want to get this book before the launch, go to Chan Bookshop, Textbook Center, and all other bookshop. Also, you can inbox me in my Facebook handle, which is Babior Newton, and I've also signed a serious distribution deal with a company which will be handling the distribution, and we will ensure that this book reaches everyone outside there. What I want feedback from my readers. I want them to tell me what they think about the book. I want them to challenge. If somebody has a different opinion, I want them to challenge that. What always happens in democracies is that when I write something which you don't feel is true, or you don't feel is right, you also write another book to respond to that.
Thank you so much, and we are looking forward to positivities.
Yes.
That any other book that will be written after this will be a complement of the same. To assume. But again, our challenge is not as bad.
Yes.
Babior, asante sana.
Thank you
all
very
the best
much
in the sale of this, and most importantly, like you say, I hope many Kenyans would have the privilege of getting to read this before the election. Babior Newton, and the author, right, of this very book, The Rise of a Hustler Nation, as well as other books, The Raila Conspiracy. And we hope to get more reads from you.
Actually, just as we conclude, as we close, the book also have very, there are people who like pictures, for the people who like pictorials. It has serious pictorials inside it. The Rise of a Hustler is available. Please go and buy it. You can have a copy, and then I am willing to have feedbacks from people, and then they tell me what do they think about the book and what do they think about the person. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well. On this very note, we close it. Asante sana for always keeping us company. I get to see you again tomorrow. From Babior, it's bye-bye. It's always good having you. My name is Linda Alela. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Asante sana.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.